Is the pressure on?
The pressure is on.
Well, the
like
pressure's
Donkey Kong.
The pressure is certainly on now because I've pressed record.
Oh no! Oh, you've done it to me again.
Oh no!
I just closed my phone and I need to reopen it for the quote after this song.
Have you found one?
Yeah.
Ish.
I'm just disappointed because I really had one that I really wanted to do that was very obscure but very long.
Right.
And it would have taken quite a bit of studying and rewatching it to like nail the quote because it's so obscure. But no, I'll go with what I got. I mean,
give it a crack.
See what happens. Yeah.
All right.
Ooh,
Cool. Well,
here we go.
Let's do it.
Oh no. Surely you can't be serious. I am serious, but don't call me Shirley. Airplane, 1980.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, what's that actor's name?
I can't remember. He passed away a few years ago.
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen? I'm sure it's Leslie
It's
Nielsen.
going to eat me inside until I remember who that is, because I used to watch all of his movies as a kid.
Exactly.
Didn't understand a fucking thing, but he was like Mr. Bean. He was funny in any language.
That's right, and he kept going until, like, I'm pretty sure the year he died, because he was in a movie with Drake Bell, superhero movie.
Oh,
and he played like the, oh man.
He was also in a scary movie where he was
like
the president, and remember the aliens peed out of their fingers, and he was like, oh yeah, and then he just did it. I was like, it such a throwaway gag, but it was so great.
Yes, it is Leslie Nielsen. Yes,
excellent.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, no, tribute, shout out to him. He's a legend of comedy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Welcome to Two's Company Three's a podcast, episode 16.
Yes, episode 16.
I almost discount last week because there was nothing to fucking talk about.
I know, but it turned out to be our longest episode ever.
Yeah.
I mean, how the fuck did that happen? I don't know. There was quite a few sidebars.
There was a lot of filler, yeah, absolutely.
I know. I listened back to it and I was like, my God, we just ramble about nothing.
Yeah, well.
It's fantastic. But I'm pretty sure we are less than 50 downloads from the big 1,000.
Yeah, getting very close. And
I am very excited, man, because we've got such a good announcement, and we've actually got evidence of this announcement right now.
We have done our quality assurance.
I am holding said announcement, and it's so exciting. I just want to burst, man.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
So what you're holding and drinking from right now isn't a porcelain pleasure this time, is it?
No, this is not porcelain at all. A little hinteroo there.
Oh my God.
Yes, I know. But
well, welcome back to the show, everyone. It's episode 16. My name is Dylan, along with my co-host,
Michelin Man.
That was good.
You saw my face then. I went, oh fuck, I have nothing.
That's right. I forgot my gag.
I panicked. Yeah. But yeah, Michelin Man, and we are Two's Company Three's a podcast, available on PodBeAN, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
Big Summer Blowout. And now we are on Instagram. So if you haven't followed already, head to Instagram, TCTP or Two's Company Three's a podcast. We'll be posting our short little sort of reviews as we see DTC.
No, TCTP. Yes. No, but after 2 months of struggling with Instagram, we finally got the all clear to make the account after you did this stupid request of sending a selfie with your name and the podcast name.
Yeah, so it wasn't
I saved that picture, man, and I plan on posting it one day because it's fucking hilarious.
So for the viewers, for the listeners out there, when you get deactivated or blocked from Instagram. Essentially, from the beginning, you tried to create an Instagram account for the podcast. This was months ago.
Mm-hmm. Going back about 2 months. Yep.
Yeah. So what happened is that as soon as you created it, it was deactivated straight away.
No, it was amazing. I literally said confirm details, and I'm like, yep, and then it immediately started to load, and then reloaded a new screen and said, you have been deactivated due to terms of services. And I was like, what? And checked the podcast email, and it said, oh, it's been deactivated because we need to prove your identity. Please send us a picture with your face whilst holding a piece of paper which you have written your name, the page name, and
a code.
And a particular code from the email. And I thought it was a joke. I'm like, are they fucking kidding? So we just left it on the back burner. Lo and behold, Dylan's like, hey, we've got the Instagram. I'm like, oh, sweet. And he sent me the picture of himself holding this piece of paper with the most bland face ever.
You know what? We might upload that to the Instagram
to
feed.
the Instagram and go, hey, Instagram, a double confirmation here. It's us.
It's us. Yeah. So it was weird how you created it. Yeah. Then I was able to get into it using my name.
Exactly. I know.
But I sent them in the email, I sent them saying, this is a very strange request, but here it is.
Yeah.
Just remember that it was deactivated as soon as it was activated, so there's literally nothing on there.
No, that's
And
right.
the reply I got was, yeah, we get it.
So we understand how weird our HR services are, so yeah, no, that's fine, man.
So, yeah,
All
we're
goods.
now on Instagram,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, Two's Company, Three's a Podcast. Search it up on Instagram. We've also got the Facebook and the Twitter poppin'. So, yeah, get on it, people.
Yeah.
Dilbo Baggins. What's the go, man?
13,
Let's do it.
13 Reasons Why. Have you watched it?
I saw the first season.
Oh, you didn't watch the second one,
I didn't watch the second one because it just, I don't know.
Didn't make much sense. Now
I thought the first season was fantastic.
Yeah.
And it teed up exactly the reason for the show, the 13 reasons, the narration, the story. All of that was beautiful for the first season. I didn't see a need for the second season. So I haven't watched it. But I've heard that it's not bad, and clearly it isn't because Netflix has renewed it, and we know they like to cancel really good shows. Bring back Santa Clarita Diet, just saying. But, okay, so season 3 begins August 23?
August 23.
Yep,
now,
okay.
This one has a fairly big, what's the word I'm looking for? Hype, behind it, because season 2, obviously, leeching off the success of season 1, which was the big one.
Of course.
I'm not going to go into massive detail because we could make a whole separate episode on it, but of how relatable that fucking show is.
Yeah, so did season 2 end on a big... Oh my gosh.
Season 2 ended on a fucking huge one.
Really?
I'm going to spoil it very... Actually, I'm not going to...
Wait, spoil season 2 or 3?
Season 2.
Okay.
No, season 3...
Tread lightly because there might be people who pick up the show after hearing this
or
with our amazing review.
If you're hearing this and you're in the United States,
of course,
a lot of people may be offended by this show pretty heavily. And I understand why, because the end of season 2 nearly ended in a mass school shooting.
Oh,
and
that's a hot spot there.
That's a spicy meatball. Well, there was a
school shooting. No. I'm sorry, Dylan. I'm taking you back. School shooting's a spicy meatball.
yeah, spicy meatball.
Okay, all right. We're comparing school shootings to food. Welcome to TCTP,
Two's Company Foods Podcast. But there was, taking a sidebar for a second, did you hear about the most recent school shootings?
I heard about it, and I
don't think it was a school, but it was just...
No, but I basically refuse to click on anything anymore because it's just become such an epidemic over there that I see it and I go, figures. And as depressing as it is, and I don't mean to sound like a rude bastard, but...
There's one way to stop it, and we've done it here in Australia.
That's what I mean. Hey, 1990, when was...
Sandy Hook?
No, Sandy Hook, that was America. When was...
no, it wasn't.
Sandy Hook massacre was America, dude.
Then what was the
Tasmania, it was... I cannot remember the name of it, but look it up, man.
Yeah,
It was in the 90s.
Yeah.
And whenever that happened, and Jim Jeffries said it best, man. The government just went,
he mention that
no more guns.
And
we're like, okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's fair. And, I mean, we've had the odd shooting here and there of, one person shooting somebody on the street, blah, 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 and stuff. But, man, I hate how political we're getting right now. But there's enough evidence, America. Trump, whoever it is in Congress, the fucking NRA, pull your fingers out. Pull your fucking fingers out.
He's
seriously.
doing the usual...
not the amendment speech.
No. He's doing the usual blame it on video games.
Oh, are you fucking retarded?
Yeah, he's done it again.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Seriously.
But season 2 of
it ended on that, so it's a bit.
Yeah, I mean, this kid who brought the gun to the school wasn't like a video game nerd. It's got nothing to do with that. But that's where the show ended. So this show isn't afraid to go to places that are completely relevant in today's day and age.
Well,
and show how horrifying and scary these things can be, because all of the actors are talented, so fucking talented.
Absolutely. But looking at that first season as well, man, I mean, they touched on a very sensitive topic of teen suicide.
Apparently,
and that was very visual as well, that final scene and that...
I heard
Cool,
that
man.
Netflix actually edited that to make it a bit less visceral, but I can't confirm it. I haven't been back to watch it.
I haven't been back to watch it either, but I did see that they'd done something with that. And I'm like, that's the most important scene of that whole movie, whole TV series.
If you're afraid to watch that, then this is what's happening.
That's right, exactly.
What were you about to say?
I was about to say Port Arthur. Port
Right.
Arthur was the Tasmanian shooting.
I think-
Yeah, that happened in 1996, April 96.
And that's when Australia
Exactly.
went,
And
"Nah."
small sidebar about politicalness. Sorry. I'm already a little bit tipsy. I'm just going to be honest,
yes.
man.
This is an episode where we
yeah.
are gradually drinking some bourbon
This
on the way
is an episode
through,
where
so-
I caught a $24 Uber to Dylan's house, and I'm enjoying some lovely beverages out of my new not porcelain pleasure. Yeah, sorry. So
That doesn't have any coke in it.
28th. Did you swig that?
Yeah.
What are you doing? That's Coke.
Nah.
No, okay, all right, no worries.
Real man.
Yeah, 28th of April 1996, Port Arthur massacre. 35 people were killed, and the Australian government basically just went, nah, we're not having guns around. So
We're not having
stop.
this, mate.
Exactly.
We're not here to fuck spiders.
And unfortunately, America still hasn't put those pieces together. That's no slight on America at all. Fantastic country.
We
but
love our TCTP fans in America. And if you're American who becomes a TCTP fan, we love you even more.
Yeah.
But you've got to admit...
But the gun laws, that's the only issue.
Hey, I love guns. Have you ever fired a weapon before?
I haven't even touched one.
It's so fun.
Because, they're illegal. But
Well,
anyway,
you can pay
outside
for
of
it.
driving ranges and stuff.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
that's
blah,
what
blah,
I
blah.
did, yeah.
But, no, I understand the right, like, people who... I understand the argument of it's a right, but I also understand the argument of, hey, but if it's a right and people kill people with it, maybe stop doing it. You know? Simple as that. And the argument that it's like the Second Amendment... an amendment's called an amendment, so you can fucking amend it and fix it. Like,
That's right.
come on, simple as that. But anyway, moving on. 13 reasons why I will not be watching.
Oh, okay. Well,
I haven't seen season 2, and I don't really care.
Yeah, no, fair
I
enough.
don't really want to see the ass rape broom scene.
Yeah, no,
Just
that's fair
saying.
enough. Well,
Just saying.
yeah.
All right, I'm just going to lean over here and grab my bottle of bourbon.
Yeah, you do that after that conversation we've just had.
It's to my left. I found it.
But yeah, so anybody who's keen on 13 Reasons Why, it's actually premiering, as we said, August 23 this month. Of course it is. August 23.
We just spoke off mic about it, but if anybody could actually go back and watch season 1 and tell us whether or not they very heavily edited the suicide scene in the first season, we would actually really like to know. Because we've both seen it in its graphic content, and I just want to know if they cut the whole scene or if they just showed one small snip of it and then ruined it.
Yeah,
hey,
that's
if
right.
anybody's there, hit us up on the Facebook page or the Instagram and let us know.
People are saying, like, at the time, when people were like, oh, this is too much. But at the same time, everybody else was saying, no, this is exactly what people need to see.
No, they need to see the gritty reality
Because
of
that's
how brutal that shit is.
That's what happens.
And I will say
yeah.
I've seen countless horror movies, and that's probably one of the most graphic and brutal real
Because it
suicides I've
is
seen.
real. It represents people that we know. So anybody out there who is struggling, fucking talk to someone.
yeah.
Speak to us. We're happy to reach out.
No, exactly. I mean, we're not qualified for that, but at the same time, I mean, hey, we're always here to lend an ear or lend a talking to. Like, I mean,
Yeah, that's right.
Simple as that. I mean, but hey, if you're enjoying the podcast and you've got, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm sorry, man.
You've had one sip of your alcohol. All right, moving on to the next topic. Rambo Last Blood. Now, we've already talked about this quite a lot.
Yes.
But the big thing that's come out of the news for this particular topic is that Stallone is super stoked that the Peggy, it's not Peggy, that's the video game one. Whatever the rating system is called in America for movies has given it a hard R.
Heck yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to see no Stallone movie without some dude getting his head stomped in. Like,
Yeah,
fuck
right.
man.
That's
I
right.
want to see dudes getting shot. Probably not the best phrasing after we just spent time talking about school shootings. I want to see
fake characters who deserve it.
I want to see actors playing the role of a bad person get shot up. Simple as that. But yeah, no.
So on the other end of this, what are you? Oh, you're filling your bottle. I mean, you're filling your.
I can still talk.
Right.
It's okay. Like
You just gave me this super weird look. Is it like, oh, we're on?
Well, it kind of sounds like urination, so I didn't want to, have the people confused that I'm like taking a piss in a bucket while we're doing this podcast.
Yeah, you're not allowed out of the room while we press record.
No, exactly. I've just got a straw that leads down to my ankle. It's very moist. You broke my concentration. I'm not sure how much I put in, so I'm going to put a little bit more.
Okay, so we're talking about Rambo and how it got... Jesus Christ.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Landed on the laptop. I'm sorry.
What is that bluegrass whiskey bourbon?
Yeah, it's Aldi's generic bourbon.
Is it
$30, bruh?
Can I try it?
Fucking A, man.
I've got
It's
this
not
bottle
bad.
of Bundaberg, which I've had for like 6 years.
6 years? That's vintage, man.
I don't think it's that
sell it on
old.
Uber.
It seems that old.
Yeah.
Well, that smells nice.
No, it's not bad for $30 bottle of bourbon, bruh.
It's actually pretty delicious.
I know. That's
Yeah.
their generic $30 bottle of bourbon. It's really
Fuck
not
yeah.
bad, man. But anyway, Rambo.
Yeah.
Blood. Yes.
The last sort of
I am strong.
the last high octane action Stallone movie, that I saw in recent history
Yes.
that went from hard R to PG rating was Expendables 3.
Ugh.
Now, there are a lot of elements that I really like about that movie. One, Mel Gibson. Come on, man. Mel Gibson is the main villain, and he looks like he's having a hell of a lot of fun in that movie.
I'm sorry, were you
Expendables
talking about Expendables 3?
3.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, Mel Gibson, he's in Rambo? What?
No.
Okay,
Expendables 3.
yeah. No.
But
Yes.
Stallone has gone on record to say that he deeply regrets making that PG because it was all fake blood squibs,
And
So
Stallone, did he direct those ones? He was high. He was
He
high up.
was-
He was like executive producer. Like
Yeah,
he had a lot of say, I believe.
I think so, 100%. Yeah,
Now,
I don't know.
They're
how
fantastic
much, but,
films, but I completely agree with that last one being PG. That just it
was crap.
No.
It made it shit because that's what made the first one so great.
That's right. You don't get that many hardcore action legends together to have a PG movie.
That's right.
No,
Yeah.
they're all known for their violence and the gritty.
Mel Gibson, Braveheart, Passion of the Christ,
Fucking
and him
damn
to
straight.
be a villain.
Even Mad Max, man. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like they are violent movies.
Yeah.
Like, don't have no PG stuff.
Don't piss in the wind with Mel Gibson. Don't fuck around with Mel
God,
Gibson. No.
He might blame the Jews.
He mu-
Hey, I'm not, but I'm going off.
Mel, mate, I
his,
know you're listening. This is your favourite Australian podcast, but,
being an Aussie yourself, bruh. Yeah,
on the
so-
other
sorry
end
about
of
that,
this
Mel.
that I didn't have written, on the other end of ratings that I didn't have written down in my
Yes,
list for news, but
yes.
it's only happened in the last day or two. Mm-hmm. One of the writers for the upcoming Deadpool 3-ish, or
Ooh,
some
3-ish?
some
Why do you say
involvement,
ish?
some involvement with the upcoming fuck.
Who's drunk here, bruh?
Some involvement with the Deadpool
Yeah.
series, essentially joining the MCU. And he's turned around to go on record and say he doesn't essentially have to be MA or M-rated or R-rated, sorry.
Yeah.
Which has pissed a lot of people off. And I
Yeah.
understand where he's coming from. You can make the fourth wall breaking in an MCU movie go like, this is where I would swear and have those kind of jokes. But at the same time,
I know.
the vulgar humour, violence, and swearing is
Yeah.
what made those movies successful.
It's a very fine line when you have a character who is known for breaking the fourth wall, referencing that he's being watched per se and stuff like that, and all those little things, and then you put him in the MCU where it's a very serious, non-stop movie, not fourth wall breaking.
That's right.
I just saw Spider-Man Far From Home today.
Yeah, yep.
And that's a great movie, but if you chuck Deadpool in there, it would totally suck you out of that serious storyline that's
what
going
I mean.
on.
You're invested so.
That's right.
I have no problem.
Man.
I've said this a lot. I have no problem with things standing out on their own.
Of
and
course,
I'm
of
happy
course.
for them to introduce Deadpool somewhere, but the biggest thing that I want him to... me personally, I would want Deadpool to have a fairly small place in the MCU and keep him completely separate and do his own thing.
He's not at that level of Avengers fighting in the main battle against the main bad guy. I could see him guest starring to a degree.
He would ruin it if he was in the final battle against Thanos.
Oh, fuck it. Oh, my God. Could you imagine that? Like, Thanos is like... I can't remember any quotes from Thanos right now, but like, could you imagine in that last battle where Tony's like putting his life on the line and he's just like, and this is the moment where the unicorn fucks me. Like, shit
it
like
just
that.
doesn't
Like,
fit. Yeah.
It does not make sense. I honestly think I would be happy if Deadpool just stayed Deadpool.
Yep.
Ryan Reynolds kills that character. He is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. It's made for Ryan Reynolds. Just stay where you are.
Stay where you are.
Stay where you are. Like,
absolutely.
MCU has their own stuff going on. They just ended the third phase, second
they're
phase.
heading into phase 4 now, which
Exactly.
we discussed in 2 episodes ago. Yep.
Leave Deadpool out of that phase.
Yeah, please do.
Just have Deadpool be Deadpool.
Keep the focus on what you've got. Reboot Fantastic Four. Reboot X-Men if you
Yes,
want, but
yes.
leave Deadpool. Actually, no, don't reboot X-Men. Keep that.
No, kill
R-rated.
X-Men, and we'll get there in a second.
Yeah.
But Deadpool, no, just let Deadpool be Deadpool. Mm-hmm. The first 2 movies that we've seen from Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool, they are fucking great.
Yep.
And I would love to see another 2 or 3 of that caliber movie. But MCU-wise, no. Leave him out of those main storylines.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
But speaking of Spider-Man and the Marvel Universe, like I said, I just saw Spider-Man Far From Home today, and I would put this in TCTP, DTC, but it's been out for a while, so may as well, and I'm going to throw spoilers out there and shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit, the whole fucking world knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man now.
See,
and not only that, J.K. fucking Simmons reprised his role as J. Jonah Jameson.
There's nobody else to do it.
I know.
There's nobody else to do it.
I when it popped up, I was like, holy shit. Because they do the whole Spider-Man is Peter Parker, Mysterio says right before he dies. Yeah, Mysterio dies. Fuck you people who haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But they did that and you're like, wow, oh my God, everybody knows that he's Peter Parker. And then fucking
J.J. Jameson comes on.
And you're like, holy shit. And I immediately just started laughing because my favorite meme ever on the internet is of J.K. Simmons and Tobey Maguire in that first one. Yeah. Hey, Peter, what's your favorite brand of rice? And he says Uncle Ben's, and then it cuts to Tobey Maguire's crying face, and it's amazing. But anyway, Spider-Man Far From Home, it's a good movie. I just spoiled the ending, but fucking go and see it.
It's been out for a while. If you haven't seen it now, you don't care about it. But
this ain't no Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, we talked about it a little while ago on the podcast because I saw it a couple of weeks ago. I think it was about a week or so after it came out. Mm-hmm. And as I mentioned before, my initial thoughts were, it was a good film on its own.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean, though? How I feel that, he goes through a lot of trials and tribulations, but he's also super fucking spoiled.
Yeah. Oh, man.
The essence of Spider-Man is that he does everything himself, and he's just a regular dude.
And that was my one thing. And because you had told me, I was waiting for it and stuff like that, and watching it develop, and I'm like, Tobey Maguire would never have to go through this.
No way.
Tobey Maguire would just be a kid going, I need to shoot some webs at my wrist. Like,
and he would have beaten the villain just using his own...
The only thing I'll say in the counter argument of your point there is the fact that the character has evolved. Like, the character, this particular incarnation of Spider-Man, Tom Holland, he was already Spider-Man when he got introduced to the Marvel Universe.
That's right.
And that's the thing where I'm like, okay, I get what they're doing. The character has evolved. He had that relationship with Tony, so obviously with Tony being gone, Iron Man's dead, people, after Endgame. With Tony being gone, the technology is going to pass through, and with Happy and now Happy's relationship with his Aunt May and Happy are fucking people, just so you know.
I get where they're...
Chicka, wow.
I get where they're going with it because he has progressed beyond that point that we know of as a young, struggling Spider-Man doing his own thing in his own city. But personally, I'm just not really a fan of the technological capabilities of Spider-Man being the Iron Spider and having all this much assistance.
Yeah.
But the other thing that kills it for me as well is that whether the ending is actually true, and I'll get to what I mean by that in a moment.
Of course. Yep.
J. Jonah Jameson now saying, "You're Peter Parker is Spider-Man," and whatever else. That kind of ruins any chances of him working for the Daily Bugle.
No, that's right. That entire aspect of basically the entire Spider-Man story that everybody's known from the beginning of time is gone.
Yeah.
That's right. The Daily Bugle, they have now shown, exists in this universe.
Yeah.
And the boss has already said, Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like,
he's not going to turn around and be like, hey, wait, you're Spider-Man. I'm going to hire you.
You're Spider-Man. Can you come and take pictures of Spider-Man for me? Because I want to know who that bastard is. Ha ha ha. Uncle Ben's. Like,
you're not getting a raise.
Exactly.
So that's what people didn't like about it. Is that they've given him all this stuff, and he's still only young, and now he doesn't have to do much for himself. And so
everything's fucking set, man. I mean, he got picked up by a fucking private plane that landed in a poppy field in the fucking Netherlands.
He doesn't need to work. He doesn't have to deliver pizzas.
And now his best friend and his girlfriend already know that he is Spider-Man. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, right.
He don't need nothing to hide, man. And Aunt May, of course.
Yeah.
So no, it's a good film. I can see why they ended the phase of the Marvel Universe on this because of that particular ending where... Sorry, I've just got one more thing to say in regards to him being spoiled. Mm-hmm. Him building that bomb that exploded quite a few of the drones.
Yep.
Very Tony Stark. Piecing together a bomb out of the drone parts. And then him getting revealed as Spider-Man at the end of the movie. That's I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
I get where they're going with this, but at the same time... I love Tom Holland, but I still prefer classic Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man.
Did the ending actually happen, though?
Why wouldn't it have? Where are you getting that from?
It could have been a projection from Mysterio's team.
Right, that dude downloaded it. Like, the last thing you see from that main guy that was helping him with the projections was him pulling out a USB stick after it said download.
Now, Mysterio kicks the fuck out of Spider-Man by putting him in this, like, holographic dream world.
Oh, we need to live stream this podcast because my mouth was just open for a minute.
Do you think that it was legit or whether it was...
Okay, the fact that I didn't even think about that means it's probably legit because I'm not a thinker when it comes to that. That's why I do a podcast.
Yeah, that's why we're not filmmakers.
No, exactly, that's right.
We fuck this up half the time. That's why we're drinking.
No, that's right. Like, as in, I've written quite a few scripts in the past, but... Oh, I've never thought of a hook like that, bro.
Oh, my God.
No, seriously, man. If that is the case, and old mate was fucking with him, just like, I don't know, fuck with his head. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You're right.
Just had an excretion of the belching type. But anyway, no, if that's a projection, man, oh my God, bring on the fucking mental breakdown of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
But like you said, he could go and work for the Daily Bugle now if that was a projection.
That's right. J. Jonah Jameson's J.K. Simmons may not have actually done that.
Dude, if the next
could have just been like, they could have just gone, well, this is the local news source.
Exactly.
Project that out.
Exactly. And, oh, man. After everything they projected in the actual movie Spider-Man Far From Home,
they could do anything.
They could do absolutely anything. And I swear to God, if the next Peter Parker Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland involves J.K. Simmons, take all the fucking money I've ever earned because I want to see J.K. Simmons go, that's it, kid, you're done. Like, oh, man. Yes.
And speaking of Spider-Man sequels as well.
Oh, dude. From Spider-Man episode, bro. You're going off.
From Spider-Man Homecoming, do you remember... Childish Gambino's character. What's his fucking name?
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover's character.
Of course. I don't remember the name, but I love Donald Glover, so yep.
He was in the credits cast as the Prowler.
What?
Do you remember who the Prowler is from another Spider-Man movie that came out recently?
I do not remember the Prowler, but where the fuck was he in that movie?
Okay, so he was obviously doing something else. Yeah. But the reason I want...
Oh, sorry. He was in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Far From Home. No. Homecoming.
That's
right.
Yes, he was cast as the Prowler.
Yeah. Do you remember who the Prowler is?
No, I do not remember.
Do you remember, I think it was last week or the week before, where we discussed Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes.
Miles Morales' uncle. Spoiler alert. Miles Morales' uncle who's got the claws. That's his character.
Are you kidding?
No.
I've never been this hyped for Spider-Man. I mean, not since Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Wow. I did not even...
The thing that fascinates me... This wasn't on our list of things to talk about.
No, we have sidebarred heavy, people, and I'm so sorry if you don't like Spider-Man, but damn,
too bad.
This is amazing.
The thing that fascinates me about this character being the Prowler is in Homecoming, he was he talked kind of dopey and he was small and skinny and he's like, I got ice cream in here. Remember, he said he was going to his nephew, Miles Morales. So he exists in this universe, but how will Donald Glover's character become the Prowler is what fascinates me.
That's intriguing. I didn't even think of that. Well, I didn't even look that deep into that option. Do you actually think it's something that they've paid that much attention to that it's going to become a future character? Because let's be honest, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, fucking go and watch it. We love it.
Double recommendation.
Yeah, absolutely. But that character is from that animated cinematic universe. I know it's from the comic books.
But it's only recent character, though. Miles Morales was only a recent comic creation over the last 10 or so years.
Yeah. Okay, so there is actually potential that... They could have done it just with Donald Glover as like a sidebar, like as in we need a name for him. The Prowler, that's been mentioned before.
Shoehorn him in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That may not come up again. But if it does, hey, Donald Glover in the MCU, holy God, yes.
Yeah, as the Prowler. If he's anything similar to what we saw...
That's right.
At first glance, I thought that was Black Panther.
No, that's right. The way it looked, the way the character was presented as well, it looked very Black Panther. But hey, if it's the Prowler and if it's Donald Glover, I'm on board, bro.
All board.
Absolutely. Yeah. But we mentioned about 28 minutes ago X-Men and why we should kill the series off, Dylan.
Yep.
What's that about?
The New Mutants.
Yes. Which has been...
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Do you want to deliver this gut punch?
Oh, well, the fact that the New Mutants, it originally had a release date of April 2018. Then it got pushed to, I believe, December 2018 or thereabouts.
Something like that, yeah.
And then it was due for mid this year. And now it has been pushed back again until April 2020.
April 3rd,
the absolute
2020.
fuck?
So
what is going on?
in my notes, which you can see right there, I've
course.
specifically listed either release it or kill it.
That's as simple as it could get, honestly.
At this point, nobody gives a flying fuck
No, I'm sorry.
about the New Mutants.
I'm sorry. I know there's, like yourself and me, there's yourself and I, there's quite a few people who aren't even up to date with X-Men. So don't even care that much.
Yeah.
The fact that it's been pushed around so damn much.
I would understand if this was a bigger movie.
That's right.
But it's not.
It's
Just
really
release it or
not.
kill it. Just
that was disgusting, and I apologize if that's on audio. There is not surely that much of an audience that is like hanging on this movie that they care.
Yeah.
Like seriously,
It's not like they're going, well, fuck no, we really need to hold out because this one's going to be the big one.
I don't
the New
understand.
Mutants is not going to be the big one.
So this would be like I'm just exaggerating, 70-second X-Men movie. They know what they're doing with X-Men. Why is it taking this long for one?
Yeah.
I don't understand what kind of production issues are happening where they need to keep pushing it around.
I don't know whether it's finished or whether it hasn't even started or whether it's halfway through, because by the time they began filming this, the only star that I know who's in it is Maisie Williams. She was popular from Game of Thrones.
Okay, I still don't know who she is.
If you Googled her, you know who she is.
No, I wouldn't.
But
Don't lie.
But she started filming this, I think she's maybe a bit younger than us, maybe by
Really?
1 or 2 years.
Okay.
So she started filming this very young. By the time this is released and possibly finished production, she's going to age like 5 years.
That's insane.
You know, if
That
this
is insane.
takes place over like a 10-day period, it's going to be really fucking awkward.
No, that's right, because people need to understand the original release date was in April 2018. That is 2 years from when it is now expected. But you've got to remember as well that films get filmed and they take sometimes 12 to 24 months to film a movie. And then you've got the production process and the editing and all of that. This movie probably started filming and production in 2016.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird, man. And the fact that it's taking this long, this is a preemptive for next April. Pass. Because if you fuck around with a movie for that long, 2 years in post-production, it's not fucking worth it.
Especially
That's way
when
too
this
much
is
fucking
only,
around.
especially when this is only like 6 or so months after Doctor Sleep, It, and all those other massive horror movies that are coming out. It's not
Exactly.
going to hold up a candle. And quite frankly, at this
I'd blow
point,
that fucking candle out.
I was
That's all I'm
excited for it
saying.
at one stage, and now I'm just like, I don't fucking care.
No.
Just get rid of it, kill it. you know.
I haven't cared about the last 7 X-Men movies.
Yeah, neither have
So
I.
no, that's
Yeah.
fine. When that comes out, I will happily not see it.
Yeah. Speaking of X-Men movies,
Yes.
What else did you see, Mitchell?
Oh, well, I also went out of my way to see the most recent member of the Billionaire Club in gross box office earnings, Aladdin. I went and saw that with my gorgeous 3-year-old daughter. Mm-hmm. Everybody was concerned about Will Smith as the genie.
Yeah.
He was beyond phenomenal.
Really?
It was amazing.
I didn't expect you to have that kind of reaction. I haven't seen it. I've only seen the trailer.
Next day, I came home and that afternoon, I rented the original cartoon version to put on for my daughter.
Yep.
And I was watching it while I was there folding laundry.
Basically putting on the History Channel for her.
Exactly, that's right.
This is from back in my day.
Even she was upset at the lack of quality.
Really?
I rewatched Aladdin, like the animated version, for the first time.
She's not over. She's 3, so she doesn't. She doesn't.
So
have
she
that,
has a high fucking caliber of movie expectation.
She doesn't have that love for Robin Williams like we do.
No,
You know,
it's
so
not the Robin Williams aspect, man. Like,
Really?
Okay, so we've discussed The Lion King and how much of a piece of steaming shit it is. This is the perfect example of Disney getting live action remakes spot on and out of the park.
Wow.
Like
Okay.
the original animated version, after seeing the live action version, there's so much that they added to the live action version that makes the first one seem like, oh man, you cut corners. Like, they cut corners in the animated version. Not in regards to
It
the
seems
genie,
like it, yeah.
but storyline-wise. The live-action version seems like it added a whole nother element to that Jasmine and Aladdin, Prince Ali story. And in all honesty, man, Will Smith fucking killed it.
Yeah.
This is my favorite Will Smith movie in a long time.
Okay. Because he's been so
he's been quiet.
Vague. He hasn't been doing much at the forefront of the cinema.
No, that's right, exactly. And he's got that what's that movie coming out? Gemini Man, which I think, man, if that movie is as good as it looks, he's going to have 2 bangers of movies this year, because Aladdin...
He needs it, because he's popular on YouTube and Instagram, but that's about it right now.
No, that's right, exactly.
He's also got Bad Boys 3 on the way too, so...
yeah, I know, I'm worried.
We'll talk about that when we come to it. We won't take a sidebar.
No sidebar there. But at the same time, I just want to say, Aladdin, the remake, everybody was scared of him as the blue genie, and because of Robin Williams, who is amazing in the first one, I'm not going to deny that. This movie is fucking fantastic. Like, as far as Disney movies goes, and seeing it with my 3-year-old daughter, and I'm just taking her because I got a day with her, and it was amazing, man.
Did you have more fun than she did?
Yes, because I will say
that's amazing.
As I mentioned in the previous episode, I think episode 13, where I reviewed The Lion King. Yeah. She was saying, "Hey, can we go home? Can we go home?" Because it was boring as fuck.
Pretty good indication that
she
a kid's movie sucks.
She did do that during this movie, but then once it got to the singing and the dancing and all that, she was hooked. All over. And that last half an hour or so, she didn't take her eyes off the screen.
And I'm guessing the singing and dancing was good.
It was actually really good, man. I don't have the name up because we just started talking about this on a whim, but the guy who plays Aladdin, Prince Ali, he is amazing. Okay. And Jasmine, she's in the Charlie's Angels movie. Yep. I can't remember her name.
Naomi Scott?
Yeah, Naomi Scott. That's the one. They are both fucking phenomenal, man.
Yeah, right.
Fucking, sorry.
If I was going to see this...
Jafar. Yep. He is incredible. He is such a dick.
Everybody was worried about him because in the ads, in the trailer, he wasn't as eccentric as he was.
No. So. He is a dick, and he is over the top, and
very good. I'm pleased.
The parrot, I can't remember the parrot's name, but in the animated version, he was like very, very chatty. Yep. They turned this into a live action. The parrot gets some words in, but it's nothing unrealistic. It's fucking fantastic. Aladdin, if I'm giving a pretzel rating out of 5, man, 4. Wow. It's a 4 pretzel. Like... So it's above what its expectations were. Yeah, well, expectations across the board were pretty low to begin with. That's right.
But as they are with all of these Disney remakes since The Jungle Book, which was pretty good. But everyone
wasn't bad.
You know, then was it Beauty and the Beast was kind of okay in the middle there?
Exactly. Beauty and the Beast was a bit Yeah, and I just saw on Box Office Mojo today, there was like a kind of comparison, and they have the same box office earnings after the amount of days that Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast have been in the cinemas.
So how does it compare?
Aladdin has hit the $1 billion.
Oh, that's true. The other ones haven't.
I think that's the 3rd or 4th movie this year to hit $1 billion, which is amazing.
It's fucking Disney's beating its own record. Beauty and the Beast, for sure.
It didn't even get close, man.
Yeah,
and if you compare the two, Aladdin shits all over it.
Now, for someone like myself who hasn't seen these movies in a long fucking time,
of course,
would you recommend going see this just on its own, or would you recommend watching the animated one first to refresh your memory?
In all honesty, you could see this, and I see why they did it. You could see this as a brand new movie without any knowledge of the first one, and it sells itself.
Yeah, right.
It's fucking fantastic, man. My daughter, I don't think, had seen the first Aladdin.
Right.
She had seen the original Lion King.
Because I haven't seen Aladdin in 20-something years.
No, that's the thing. I haven't seen it either, man. It wasn't one of those ones that I rewatched as a kid over and over and over again.
Did I.
So seeing this, I was just like, oh, come on, Will Smith, don't disappoint me. And it was
don't fuck me, Will Smith.
It was exceptional, man. This is one of those ones. I'm going to go and buy the Blu-ray.
Wow.
Yeah, like seriously, man.
Yeah,
I had
top-notch.
so much fun, and
so
I really hope it's not.
Buy it on Blu-ray.
What are you getting at here?
That's a good. I wanted to use that for the first time in the episode.
Oh, okay. All right. You can buy it on Blu-ray, and then you just stared at me while your finger was there, and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
I was waiting for you to go like, "Yes."
Oh, okay. You can buy it on Blu-ray and digital. Yeah. But anyway, Aladdin, people, it's nearing the end of its run. I think there's one session a day now at our local theaters. It's phenomenal. When it comes out, absolutely rent it, man, or borrow my Blu-ray because I will be buying it. It was fantastic.
Very good. Before we started recording for this episode, we watched a couple of trailers because there's 2 movies that are coming out fairly soon which have caught my attention and the attention of a lot of others. Now, there's a lot of trailers actually that came out this week. There's a few like World War II and World War I movies which are on the way. And I haven't really paid too much attention to those. But the big ones for me, number 1 is Adastra. which is Brad Pitt.
I am so glad you made me watch the trailer for that because that looks, wow.
It's kind of confusing because it doesn't really show much that it's a... Is it more of a realistic take on sci-fi space action, or is it more of a science fiction kind of story? Is it based in reality, or is it not? I don't really know.
To me, it seems like you're right. It's got a very weird balance between a real storyline and then very strange sci-fi action.
Because in the trailer we watched, they're so it seems like there's a big sort of space exploration station on the moon. Yes. But then they're driving around in buggies and they're shooting each other.
Like you saw my face when we were watching that, and it popped up on the screen, and I was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" We just need to point out here, it's got a stacked cast though. It has Brad Pitt, Liv Tyler, Tommy Lee Jones, Donald Sutherland. Man. It looks like a fucking fun movie. Yeah. But like you said, I do not know what reality this is based in. As far as I know, and I could pick up, Brad Pitt's character is looking for his father who's hiding from NASA, the government. I'm not sure, but he's somewhere in space.
For some reason, and that's Tommy Lee Jones. That's who plays Brad Pitt's dad.
Which is awesome as fuck.
Yeah.
But also, can we point out the fact that... And it happened in the trailer while we were watching. Liv Tyler popped up and I went, "Oh God, again!" Like because of Armageddon. Exactly. 20 years later, and she's still missing her husband in fucking space.
Also, Brad, while you're at it, can you go look for him, please?
Exactly. Yeah. Brad, bro, while you're there, could you find Bruce for me, please? Yeah. Wait, no, that's her dad. Ben. Could you find Benny Boy for me?
I still have the animal crackers stuck in my belly button. But that's coming out. That's got a September 20 That's got a September 20 release. But as we said, like, it looks like it's taking the realm of reality, kind of like fucking hell.
I don't know where you're going with this.
The Matthew McConaughey Interstellar.
Yes.
And the other one, which was George Clooney and Sandra Bullock, the one with Gravity.
Yes, Gravity.
It looks like it's taking that route, but then there's other elements of the trailer which is like, well, that wouldn't happen, like, as we said.
That's right. The trailer starts off with Brad Pitt, like, almost recording a message for his father, like, "Hey, Dad,
really
are you dead?"
Tone.
And he mentions in the trailer as well,
"I'm coming
my
to
father's
find
dead.
you.
I'm coming to find him." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, like you said, it's like fucking GTA on the moon. There's fucking buggies with astronauts in full-on reflective helmets shooting at each other, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this? Vin Diesel in space?"
Yeah. So,
oh man,
because of both of those elements, I could watch this movie if it goes one way or the other, or both.
No, that's right.
It has me excited and intrigued for both directions.
Well, that's right. As we have discovered this week in TCTP DTC, which we will get to shortly, we don't mind a good drama. Yeah. So if this is real based, I'm all for that. But at the same time, you cannot have motherfuckers on space buggies motherfucking shooting each other like it's motherfucking GTA.
Yeah.
And
sick of these motherfucking astronauts on this motherfucking space moon.
Exactly. But... you can't have that and expect me to fully invest my heart into this unless it tells that real story. Yeah. So that's what I'm so confused about with this movie. But either way, Liv Tyler, I know you're listening. I'm so sorry for your losses in space. I really hope that they can find your other husband and your other dad. Like, man, this is awkward. But that was also not the only trailer that we watched this week. Yeah. So we just before the episode as well, this trailer was released within the last week, so since our last podcast recording, and this is written and directed by Ryan Johnson, who Ryan Johnson. Sorry. Yep.
So, what are you doing?
Okay. All right. I know who Ryan Johnson is. I was literally questioning it to cue you up for you to fucking explain. For the audience.
About to, and then I was
sorry.
Like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah. I know. I was playing along.
Okay. So Ryan Johnson, who
I'm sorry, dude. I'm quite
So Ryan Johnson, who got his Hollywood introduction from Looper, which is Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis.
Future recommendation. I love that movie.
A lot of people don't. I also like it.
Thank you. Thank you. Good. It's fantastic, and I love JGL.
Yeah. So he also written and directed Star Wars: The Last Jedi, which people love, people hate. I also hate it.
Really, but either way, he got given the reins to a very big movie for a very big franchise.
So this guy obviously knows what he's doing. Yeah. He's introduced a movie called Knives Out.
Knives Out. We watched the trailer to this, man, and I was laughing and having a blast with the trailer.
It looks fucking great. So, Knives Out is an upcoming 2019 American neo-noir black comedy crime film. So, you know...
Seriously, this trailer, man, seeing Chris Evans, Daniel Craig on the big screen... And they were fucking hilarious in the trailer.
Yeah,
Daniel Craig in particular, this looks like almost a career rebooster after the whole James Bond.
He is coming back for Bond 25.
No, that's what I mean.
This is a revitalization, yeah.
No, that's right, exactly. I know is that going to be his last Bond?
I would assume so.
Exactly. So once that's over, this is almost like the perfect movie for him to come back into mainstream because he looks fucking hilarious, phenomenal as just... Oh man, seriously, if you haven't watched Knives Out, the trailer, go and watch it and you will want to see it. It looks fun as fuck, man.
If that didn't convince you, let me just go through the cast. Now, we've got like a fucking
Big
full...
time.
This movie somehow has an amazing A-list cast, but the one that surprises me the most is Jamie Lee Curtis.
We watched this together just before we started recording, and I said,
I've seen it once before. Yeah.
Is that Jamie Lee Curtis? I couldn't believe it, man. And she looks fucking hilarious too.
Yeah. The only thing I've seen her in recently is obviously Halloween.
Sidebar. I'm getting another drink.
But she hasn't done a great deal other than Halloween in recent years, as far as I'm aware. She may have done like smaller movies which were not...
Of course,
didn't come out in Australia in cinemas.
Or she might have appeared in a TV show. We're not too sure. But at the same time, to me personally, Jamie Lee Curtis, she's done Halloween, and then I haven't seen her since Freaky Friday.
Yeah,
with Lindsay Lohan, which, by the way, is amazing.
I love
Freaky Friday. It's so good. Thank you. Yes, man. High fives for that. Yeah. Yes. No, but not only that. So Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Jamie Lee Curtis, Toni Collette, Don Johnson, Michael Shannon. This movie looks phenomenal.
You've got Catherine Langford as well.
Langford?
Yeah, who's from first season of 13 Reasons Why.
Oh,
she
there you go.
The girl.
That's right.
She was also set to be in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame as
really?
I was about to say Cliff Burton, but that's Metallica's dead bassist.
Okay.
Hawkeye's daughter.
Oh, really?
To bring up the mantle. She wasn't in it, but she was cast.
That would have been a big role for her. But you've also got TV show of Hawkeye that we mentioned a few weeks ago. That's going on. Oh, don't you're me.
Is it a TV show or a movie? I can't
TV
remember.
show.
I'll have to go back to listen to it. But we've also got Christopher Plummer. But the one that the one that fascinates me the most, which we haven't seen in the trailer, Frank Oz.
Frank Oz. That name isn't ringing a bell to me.
The voice of Yoda. And are you doing that again?
No. I didn't mean to. That was genuine. Wow. That's a big deal.
So Frank Oz has done her voices, and he's been in a hell of a lot, man. Like, he's the kind of guy who you expect to be dead by now. But
I imagine he's about 108.
Yeah, about that. Or thereabouts.
Just casually.
He's in it. I don't know what he does, but he's been the kind of guy that sort of just turns up.
Yeah.
So he was in Little Shop of Horrors, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, all of these, Death at a Funeral, so he's been in a lot, but nobody... Yeah, he's never at the forefront.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the common person like myself, I did not recognize that name at all.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's had that kind of career where there are people like yourself who are like, shit, Frank Oz, that's amazing.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no, he wasn't in the trailer, was he?
No, I didn't. Well, he's not... Like, he's cast in it, but he doesn't have a name yet. So we're not really sure what he's doing in it.
There you go.
Like, the movie itself, what does it say? So it comes out sort of September, November, depending on where you are.
Yeah.
In Australia, I would assume it's November, because it comes out in September everywhere else. But it's I don't... this movie's intrigued the fuck out of me. But
absolutely, man.
It looks hilarious.
No, seriously. If you haven't seen the trailer for Knives Out, it is truly funny.
Yeah.
Like, I can't say anything else about it. Like, it's just a murder comedy, very funny film. I'm so excited.
From what we've got from the trailer, essentially the story is it must be a family. There must be connected cousins somehow. And there's a murder in the family, and they're all stuck in this kind of house.
And it's Daniel Craig and Chris Evans who are investigating, as far as I can see.
I think Chris Evans is part of the family.
No. Surely not, because in the trailer in particular, he's like, what he says one particular thing, and then he's like, no, sack of shit. Like,
eat shit. Yeah, but he's dressed as like a college footballer. He doesn't have the suit on like Daniel Craig.
No way. I don't believe that he's part of the family, man.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
Wait. Yep, he is. Maybe. Because he's got the same last name as Jamie Lee Curtis's character.
I told you, Daniel Craig is there in a suit. He's dressed as James Bond.
But at the same time, though, you've got the family members who all have Thornberry as their last name. And then there's Chris Evans and Jamie Lee Curtis, who are Linda Robinson and Ransom Robinson. And then Daniel Craig is Benoit Blanc.
Okay. Well, he has some connection somehow. Yeah.
Either way, this looks hilarious. And this is a preemptive YAAAS for me because it looks fucking hilarious.
Yeah. So
a comedy murder mystery. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So we'll definitely be seeing that one for TCTP TTC.
Dude, that's the first time you've nailed it on air perfectly.
I'm pretty sure I said TTC, but we'll play it off like I got it right. It's fine.
Well done, man. You nailed it. TTTT.
Now, before we move on to recommendations and YAAAS or pass.
And TCTP DTC.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, we have 3 segments now.
I had that going the whole time you were just talking over me.
We got a little bit of gaming news.
No.
Go for it.
Is it actually gaming news?
Well, it is for you.
Well, it depends it depends if people actually find Fortnite, shock and awe, gaming. Really, Mr. Doom.
Yeah.
Really, Mr. Doom.
You called me that for the rest of my life. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Doomatic 93.
Yeah.
94?
93.
93?
94 is my password at work.
Thanks for that. All right. Fellow members of NIB. Oh, yes! Fellow members of NIB. You're going to have... Not a very good name. You listen back. I'm so sorry, people. We took a sidebar there. Fortnite. All right. Season 10 is officially up and running. And there has already been accusations of Fortnite stealing from Apex and Respawn Entertainment. And it's because of the brand new mechs that are in the game.
If there's one thing that can convince me to come back to Fortnite for maybe a game or two, it's mechs.
And I've played with them, son.
Are they good?
I'll tell you what. They took out hoverboards are the last remaining vehicle. They took out quads and ballers.
Oh, really? I like the ballers.
No, that's right. They also took out redeploy, so you can't find gliders in a chest or anything anymore.
Right.
So there is a lot less movement. And the only vehicle that they added was mechs.
Are they fast?
They are not fast, but they have a boost. Oh, okay. So they have a boost. They have a jump function. They're two-seated vehicles as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah, right. That's a big selling point for me because I play a lot of solos. For example, I was heading over to Sunny Steps and it just so happened a mech was landing there because at the beginning of the game there's...
Landing? What, do they fall from the sky?
Yes, they do. And
Titanfall.
Hey, they're called mechs, bruh, not titans. Just saying.
I love Titanfall. Anyway,
but
continue.
all I'm saying is at the beginning of the game there's 3 that spawn, 3 or 4. I'm not 100%, but I always try and avoid them because they're fucking brutal.
Yeah.
But anyway, I landed over at Sunny Steps. I managed to get into the driver's seat because there's one person who can drive, walk around, jump, boost and stuff like that. And then the other one just has access to the weapons. That's all.
Right.
Exactly. You can shoot them easy as fuck in the driver's seat or the shooting seat. And you can take them out while they're in the vehicle, which is great. But I landed in the driver's seat. Somebody else landed around, of course, because they're going for the mech. I stomped that motherfucker into his grave. And then old mate was sitting above me in the shooter seat. And I was like, oh, wait, there's a dude in here with me. Self-destruct button. Jumped the fuck out. He blew up. I got another kill. Yeah.
So they don't know that it's on a self-destruct?
No. You can hear it, but obviously old mate didn't jump the fuck out.
Yeah, okay.
But, interesting. Yeah, no. So there's only 3 that spawn. They've got 1,000 health, which compared to like the baller, which had 150.
Yeah.
So they've got more health. They've got more firepower, but at the same time, less maneuverability. They don't move ridiculously fast.
Do they spawn anywhere near where the circle's going to be?
They spawn wherever the fuck they've spawned.
Because that'll make it like sort of very lucky if it spawns anywhere near where the final circle will be.
To a degree, but at the same time, the second you're on the battle bus, it goes over. You check the map, and then within 1 second, it's already saying spawn here, here, here. Okay. That's it. And that's it. That's it. Simple as that. And if you press self-destruct or it gets blown up, that's it. There's no new one. Yeah, there's only like 3 or I think maybe 4.
So it's not like everybody's walking around to these things. It's first in, best dressed,
it's not
and then
fucking,
go for it.
Dude, okay. I know you just said Titanfall.
I love Titanfall.
No, that's fine. And I watched some gameplay of that the other day just because of this mech controversy of them stealing from Respawn.
Yeah.
It's not Titanfall, dude. There's fucking 3 or 4 They are cool as fuck to play with, but at the same time, you can destroy the fuck out of them pretty fucking easy.
Yeah, so it's fair.
Simple
it's
as
balanced.
that.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's the thing. People have been upset. I believe you shared on the Facebook page of TCTP on Facebook. You shared. Sorry, I was just pointing out to the people we're on Facebook. But you shared a video of people like being like, "Oh, they stole it from Respawn." Well, Respawn couldn't figure out the mechanics of putting this in a battle royale game. Yeah. Fortnite did. Good for them, and it hasn't affected the point where people are like, "Get rid of them, they're OP." It's fucking, it's really balanced, man. I
remember when Respawn announced that they were putting Titans in Apex because it's supposed to be set in the Titanfall universe, which I fundamentally disagree with in the first place because Titanfall on its own is great, and Apex should be separate. Anyway,
exactly. Titanfall is its own game, and it's good.
Have you played Apex at all?
Of course I have.
The design of the maps don't really give much leeway for these big mechs to be walking around, because they're pretty crammed. They're good for close combat, maneuvering, but not so much with the robots. I don't think.
See, I haven't played Apex since Season 2 came out, but they've also got these fucking huge dinosaur monster things just strolling through the map.
Yeah,
and you can get squashed by them, or I don't understand. But at the same time, people are saying they stole this from Titanfall. That's fine. You say that all you want. They figured out how to put it in a battle royale. Season 10, it's fucking fun.
And you know what? Titanfall didn't come up with fucking mechs either. Mechs has been around in popular movies and games for fucking donkey's years. So,
as you said on the Facebook page when you shared that post, the battle royale fucking game,
they're all stealing from each other.
That's right. So there's absolutely no point for people to get butthurt about these mechs being in Fortnite, because every single battle royale mode game is stealing from each other. And Fortnite is just at the top of the table, and people get mad when they figure it out first.
And do you know what PUBG would? You know how PUBG would certainly be a lot better?
What? How?
If there was actual reward system, but also if they introduced mechs.
Oh, brand new fucking coloured sock, right,
Dylan?
Oh my god! If I just got a new sock colour, I'll be fucking cheering. But PUBG shit. Put that on the Apex list.
Just play Doom.
But the other thing that I mentioned, and I failed to mention last week, during the World Cup, Fortnite announced that this season, Season X as they're calling it, but Season 10, they are bringing out the Fortnite Championship Series, which basically every single game that every player who plays Fortnite plays is getting registered. And that means that they are keeping a table and a tally of everybody who wins. And at the end of this season, they are going to put together the best people of the best win ratios and blah, 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 and all that, and have a championship series to determine a season champion.
That's cool.
Which I think is fucking awesome. This is a brand new evolution from the game leader in Battle Royale modes, bitches, Fortnite. So this is the next evolution.
So this is happening in Season 10.
Yes, as far as I'm aware, there is the Fortnite Championship Series where they will have a constant leaderboard of people with wins, losses, kills, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And at the end of the season, there's going to be a champion. Like, I think that's fucking fantastic. If they can only do the World Cup once a year, there's about 3 seasons a year of Fortnite, 3.5, maybe 4 seasons of Fortnite a year. Fuck, why not have a season champion?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that person, I think, whoever wins that out of each category should be automatically qualified for next year's World Cup.
And not only does that keep kids distracted.
That's a cool concept. Like, I'm the Season X champion in solos. Like, that's awesome.
That doesn't only keep kids distracted and out of school, but it also gives people who play this game some level of purpose outside of just earning fucking points and skins and whatever else.
And I'm not sure of the details of it to a degree because I've played maybe about 2 hours worth of this new season. I have no idea where I'm looking for the leaderboard if there is one. But they did mention that that's happening, and if that's the
You'll
case,
be above me,
awesome.
that's for sure. I'm still at 0.
No, exactly. And somebody else who will be above you is Ninja, who made a huge...
I would assume he's above me.
He made a huge 8-figure move from Twitch streaming to Mixer, exclusive to Microsoft.
Yeah.
Well, Microsoft owned. $10 million he got paid for the switch from Twitch streaming to Mixer. Can we acknowledge the fact that this is a guy with multicolored hair who plays games for a living who just got paid $10 million to switch from Twitch game streaming to Mixer?
And literally, I've watched his stream.
What is happening in this world?
I don't usually watch streaming unless you're on, and then I watch it because it's funny.
Stop it.
Because I'm commenting, going, "Oh, dickhead," you know.
Exactly. But play a real gun, fuck up.
I tuned into Ninja's games maybe a month or two back, just thinking,
Yes.
all right, what's the fucking hype behind this guy? And I watched it, and he's playing Fortnite like everyone else.
No.
And he was drinking like Red Bull in this thing, and I was
sponsored.
like, he can't. What he does, his job is so fucking easy.
You think that, okay?
But at the same time...
But just a brief rundown. The amount of times I hopped onto Ninja's Twitch stream, and American time, he would be hopping up at about 8 a.m. or whatever, and he would look like a bag of fucking shit because he crawls out of bed, sets the, all right, I'm about to go live thing, goes online, looks like a bag of shit, and does that for 12 hours a day.
That's what I mean. Like
no, that's the thing.
What a fucking job.
No. It sounds amazing, but you imagine doing that for 10 to 12 hours a day. And
Kill myself.
No, that's what I mean. Exactly. And not only that, you're not only playing the game and you're expected to perform, you're also expected to entertain these motherfuckers on the keyboard warriors.
It's not fucking easy, man.
That's what I mean.
I've tried it to sit there and chat.
And so,
It's fucking hard,
so
man.
Fortnite, the brand new season came out, and there's an average of about 250,000 people watching Fortnite on Twitch over the multiple gamers constantly.
Yep.
250,000 thereabouts. Ninja, who had the highest follower count on Twitch, switches over to Mixer. Fortnite's still averaging between 200 and 250,000 on Twitch. He moves over to Mixer, where at the moment they were averaging about 10,000. Like, not much at all. He moves over to Mixer, and he per stream is averaging about 80,000 people at the moment.
Fucking hell.
Exactly. Fortnite on Mixer without him, 4,000. You chuck him on there, and all of a sudden, the people watching Mixer is about 100,000.
Rolling in.
He already has hundreds of thousands of followers on Mixer. He has literally brought hundreds of thousands of eyeballs to this streaming service. This is a big deal, and you can see why he got paid $10 fucking million.
I think the thing that really enhances it for me is that I didn't know Mixer existed until you log into an Xbox One. You know,
I
Twitch,
don't have an Xbox, and when he said I'm moving exclusively to Mixer on his Instagram post, I went, what the fuck is Mixer?
That's what I mean, you know, so people who don't have Xbox...
But you know Xboxes, and you still were like, I have no idea what it is until you saw it on the Xbox.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what, like your average person can tell you what Switch is.
That's right.
Twitch, sorry.
Twitch, not Switch.
Yeah. But Mixer is, I mean, now it's becoming this popular thing because of this fucking publicity stunt, you know...
That's all it is, basically.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's purely a publicity spot.
It's purely a blah, 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 blah.
No, but I'm sorry. He got paid 8 figures, $10 million to switch streamers. Man.
Where did we go wrong?
We were just talking off air about the fact that I'm 27 and you are
25. Wait, hold on. No, 26. Sorry. This is the second time I've been asked in 2 weeks, and I'm just like, wait a minute. 1993. 1, 2, 3,
I
4,
swear
5.
I was born in the 90s. I don't remember which one though. But
yeah.
No,
26.
Where did we go wrong with these guys? Ninja is like, I think 25 or younger.
We started this podcast and internet entertainment venture way too fucking late.
Oh, we have missed the boat so far. The Titanic has already sunk all this bitch.
Yeah.
But it's just a very big move, and the first big move in this Twitch, in this streaming environment where people are actually making a living off this. This is the first big, like, team change. Like, the first big...
And it's putting Mixer on the map. It's basically the same thing, but it's putting it on the map.
Literally, Mixer with Ninja on. 100,000 viewers on Fortnite. He had 80,000 constantly, blah, blah, blah. When he's offline, Fortnite is below music as a category getting watched on Mixer. Yeah, like, right. That's the blip that he's putting on that radar. So it's going to be curious to see if other Twitch streamers make the jump, if this goes well. If not, hey, Ninja, you just got paid $10 million and he's only streaming 6 hours a day at the moment. So, hey, why the fuck not?
Yeah.
No, exactly. Full credit to him. He's taking advantage of it, and maybe he can afford some more hair dye. Because the motherfucker's hair right now is looking a bit pale, so I'd like to see a fresh cut.
He's fucking exhausted from just like staring at a screen.
No, that's the thing. He jumps over to Mixer, and he's only streaming 6 hours a day at the moment, and it was at Lollapalooza. Have you heard of Lollapalooza?
Yeah, isn't that a music festival?
It's an entertainment festival,
right?
And it's been going in Chicago for fucking decades,
Years, yeah.
And he streamed exclusively for that for 6 hours a day.
Yeah, right.
Got fucking paid to be there at Lollapalooza and get free drinks and shit, and oh my god.
Well, you're more than welcome to reach out to Two's Company Three's a Podcast at gmail.com and invite us to cool shit. We'll happily do a live show if you can bring the stuff to set it up.
Lollapalooza, I know you're listening, bro.
Yeah.
Invite us to next year's Lollapalooza and we will happily come and live stream our podcast for 6 hours a day.
All expenses paid by you guys, of course.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah. All right, Dylan, I think it's time to hit that, bro, because it's coming. Welcome back to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jim. Along with my co-host. I'm sorry. Anyway.
What is this, episode 17? Get back to the program.
All right, welcome back to episode 18 of TCTP. I'm sorry.
TCTP DTC.
Oh,
the cinema.
Yes, that's
Over
right.
the weekend, we went and saw something a little different.
That's right.
Out of the usual. We went and saw a drama.
Right.
A political drama.
Exactly. Not just a drama, but one that actually touched the nerves of actual current events to a degree.
Yeah. And we're not going back to school shootings. We've already done that in this episode.
No. We're not going down that rabbit hole again.
But this was a YAAAS from last week from both of us, which we actually went and saw.
I know. This is the first time that we took a YAAAS or Pass segment from that week and said, and I believe in episode 14, available on PODBEAN, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, Big Summer Blowout. In that segment, we
and
actually
Instagram.
both reviewed it and said, yep, you know what? This is one that we both should see. And we booked a date for it as well.
Yeah.
And we did it. And people, it's a good one.
Now, this is at the same time that Hobbs and Shaw is, which would usually be our preference because it's a big, dumb action movie.
It's the one with all the public mainstream press.
But that cinema had us and one other guy.
Dude, there was ourselves and a couple of friends and then one dude up the back, which was weird by himself. Like,
in that particular spot? Like, why wouldn't you sit somewhere in the middle? Like,
just take it a sidebar. Why was that dude by himself seeing an Emilio Estevez written and directed drama that night on a Saturday night at 9 p.m.?
He's got great taste because we were there too. So what we saw was a movie called The Public.
The Public, indeed. As I mentioned just a moment ago, written and directed by Emilio Estevez.
And starring.
And starring, indeed. Emilio Estevez, who is Charlie Sheen's brother.
Yep.
And as we established last week, you didn't know who he was.
Well, until I saw a photo, I was like, I know exactly who this guy is. But I didn't know that he did these kind of films and is this kind of talent.
He is the artistic type as opposed to his brother, who's like, hey, look at me. Make a funny to this laugh track and pay me millions. Ha 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 ha.
Look at me. I'm a sleaze to women. Ha ha.
Hashtag winning, right? But Emilio Estevez, written and directed and starring. Man, I kind of knew what to expect, but I didn't expect what I got. It was really good, man.
Yeah. So before we went in, I remember I watched the trailer maybe about an hour or so before the movie started, and I told you, man, this looks like a comedy, and you've gone, what do you mean? I thought it was a drama.
That's what I mean, yeah.
The thing that I took away from this is that there were a lot of comedic elements, but because the comedy was written in such a way where it was it hit so many realistic beats of. So essentially, the story is in a nutshell. The homeless people are trying to stay in a library to stay out of the cold because people are dying on the streets because of the weather.
Exactly. So Cincinnati is going through the coldest period in its history, and each homeless shelter is getting overfilled by the homeless, and there's nowhere for these people to stay. So each night leading up to this particular night, there are actually homeless people dying in the streets, and they're people that they know. And Emilio Estevez's character, he lets these homeless people in of a morning to brush their teeth and get themselves ready for the day.
Yeah.
They get to stay in the
public library. That's what this is about.
The public library, which is accessible to all citizens, and they get the chance to just warm up a little bit and just get ready for the day per se.
Stay in comfort the whole day. Yeah.
Exactly. But once it closes, they have to leave, and unfortunately, the shelters are filling up. And it just gets to a stage where there is a couple of them in particular where they just say, you know what? We're not going to leave.
Yeah.
And Emilio Estevez's character, who I can't remember the name, my apologies. He has a
Stuart Goodson. He's the librarian.
Stuart Goodson. He has a past of that homelessness as well. So he sympathizes, my apologies, with those particular characters who want to stay. And it turns into a very political, almost standoff, where there's confusion as to whether they are being held hostage or whether he's putting on a protest. Like, it's a very
like
a
all
very
it
touchy subject.
was them looking to stay out of the cold, but
it turned into so the MVP of this movie for me was Christian
fucking Slater is great in this movie, and he, in a sense, plays the main antagonist.
No, that's right, exactly. He's playing the district attorney, who's trying to get this
mayor.
Exactly. He's running for mayor, but he's trying to get this wrapped up as quickly as possible because it's a blip on the mayoral candidacy per se.
Whatever the word is when you're going for mayor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. He's the MVP of this movie because he plays that character so fucking well, man. And
he's alongside Alec Baldwin, who's a big fucking player in the acting world, man.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin was phenomenal as well, playing the detective who's trying to find his son, who is also homeless. So you've got a soft spot for him from the start because he's just trying to be a good dad. Yeah. But then Christian Slater comes in, man, and he is such a dick.
How do you think...
the perfect counter to Stuart Goodman? Yeah.
How do you think Christian Slater felt standing next to Alec Baldwin the whole time? Because they've both been acting for about the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And they've both had various heights in their career.
Well,
and I think Alec Baldwin's has certainly ridden higher for a lot longer than Christian Slater's has.
Well, see, that's the thing. Alec Baldwin has had those career heights, but at the same time, Alec Baldwin has had those personal lows. I've seen a lot of negative press about Alec Baldwin through the years in regards to alleged verbal abuse of his spouse and daughters and stuff and blah blah blah. So Christian Slater's just like ridden this wave of I'm Christian Slater and I'm just going to ride this wave of being
I always look angry.
Exactly.
And I'm always good in everything I do.
Like I said, Dylan, we need to get a camera because our Christian Slater's impressions are amazing.
They are. Yes.
But anyway, so this whole story is just it's almost beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, and the end result of the movie ending, it's one of those endings where I can imagine a narrow-minded person just saying, what the fuck just happened? But at the same time, if you watch it and feel it, it's like,
you completely understand why they did what they did.
I get that.
We won't spoil anything in that because this is a movie that if you're doubting that, that political dramas aren't entertaining, this movie is certainly entertaining. It's not just slow and thought-provoking the entire way through. There are some, as I mentioned before, there are some comedic elements, but you laugh to yourself, but at the same time, they're also very heartwarming and serious moments.
That's right. Like, it's a very touching movie in that regard.
A lot of the comedy comes from the fact that a lot of these homeless people have mental illnesses, and you kind of think, oh,
am I allowed to laugh at this?
Yeah, there's one particular character who, my favorite in particular, who believes. His name? I don't know the actor's name, but
no. Which one was he?
Who?
You're talking about old mate Laser Eyes, right?
Yeah. So there's a character in the movie who believes so he's a homeless man, and he believes that when he looks at somebody for too long, they explode because the government implemented him with a chip when he was a baby and he has laser eyes. But that's a serious mental illness. No. It's played off as a serious mental illness, so you kind of feel for this guy.
No, that's right, exactly. You've got this character who suffers from this actual mental illness, but they've done it in a way where you're allowed to laugh. Because it's not something that's going to like make you offended or anything like that. It's really well done. And I'll tell you what, Emilio Estevez, full credit to you, mate. I know you're listening.
Yeah, big fan.
This truly is a beautifully directed and written film. And the acting is phenomenal. Everybody played their parts to a T. Gabrielle Union, I want to give a special shout out to. She was the let's just say it. She was the bitch of a reporter.
She was the bitch of the movie? Yeah. But she was also great.
She was the bitch, but then had the turn at the end. And by the way, Dylan, I just wanted to say, Hail Caesar.
Hail Caesar.
Hail Caesar. Like, there's multiple things in this movie that make me so glad that I went and saw it. Yeah. And man, seriously, if you guys want to see just a touching drama that just makes you think and just sit back and relax and watch this crew of misfits get along and make a difference.
Yeah.
Seriously, The Public It is fantastic, people. Catch it while you can, because I already noticed that the session times had dropped.
Well, it's not an overly popular movie because it is out the same time as, Hobbs and Shaw.
It came out as Hobbs and Shaw, starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Jason the Stone Statham.
The thing that surprises me the most is the online rating. So Rotten Tomatoes has this at a 64% approval rating from critics.
Yeah.
See, the thing about this is that I have a feeling that this is one of those movies, I may be wrong, but this is one of those movies that critics don't like, but the general public really like.
Yeah.
And you know who you should listen to?
Oh, who?
The general public, because critics don't know fuck all.
Exactly.
The cinematography may be different. This script is dumb. Like, fuck off. If people enjoy it, that's all that matters.
No, exactly. Emilio Estevez doesn't know how to make a movie outside of Mighty Ducks.
Oh my god.
No,
Mighty Ducks is great, but still.
You're damn straight.
So yeah, go see The Public while it's still in cinemas, because it is a good cinema experience.
No, absolutely.
It's not just a sit home with a little bit of wine. It's a
this
popcorn flick as well.
This is also one, like we said, we saw it 2 days after it had been released, and we saw it on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
There was one other person there.
Yeah.
Like, so if you want to have just a chilled cinema experience of sitting there with no distractions, no people laughing and yelling and blah, 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 dude, this is a thought-provoking fucking great film.
Yeah.
Emilio Estevez, I know you're listening. It is fantastic.
Yeah.
Man. The Public, I'm going to give it on a pretzel rating. Oh,
I'm
not
already.
I'm not going to give it a clap rating out of 5. I'm going to give it a solid 3.5.
I'm going to give it a solid 3.5 too. I agree with you because, as we said, it's not the biggest movie ever, but everybody did a great job.
Yeah.
The cinematography of this movie, it was really fucking good, but so was the dialogue.
No.
I can't fault this movie on any level other than maybe some of the characters, like the antagonists' stories.
Yes.
Sometimes there were elements which did feel a bit unnecessary, but
to a degree.
That's nitpicking.
No.
Nothing's going to break this movie for me. It's certainly going to see it.
Absolutely. And I mean, when you compare it to the previous movies that we've seen on TCTP, DTC, they were working class ratings because they did the job of what that was meant to be.
Yeah.
This is slightly above what it's meant to be.
Yeah, so we've seen...
It's a thought-provoking political satire, per se.
Yeah.
Like, it's great. It really was great.
Excellent. Beautiful. Moving on to our next segment,
which I believe is entitled...
YAAAS!
Oh, or...
Pass!
Or...
Excited!
Or...
But blinded!
Yeah!
We swapped roles and it worked.
I know. I was putting for you for the sound cue, and you were like, "I'm just going to take it," and I'm like, "Go for it, bro." Fuck it.
But what I'm not going to take is you telling me and the audience what movies are coming out this week, because this is your job.
Oh,
and I'm here to sit there and listen and give my thoughts on the movies that are coming out.
No, that's fine. And considering how much you do for this podcast in regard to social media and the YouTube and the uploading and all that and the editing and man, I'm happy to take the role for this one. Now, before we get started in YAAAS or Pass this week, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to a correction per se. Late night, I believe 2 weeks ago.
Shout out to your former self who fucked it up.
Shout out to a correction out there, man. I know you're listening, correction. It's time for your moment. I believe 2 episodes ago, episode 13, we, YAAAS or Pass, reviewed Late Night, which is a comedy starring Emma Thompson and Mindy Kaling.
Yep.
It comes out this week, so I don't know how I fucked that up that bad, but the sessions begin this week. It comes out in Australia this week, so just a quick shout out for that. If you haven't heard it, head back to episode 13, but just a quic sum up, we both gave it a YAAAS.
We both gave it a YAAAS.
That's right.
Very quickly, it tells the story of a late night TV show host.
Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson.
Yep.
Emma Thompson.
Shut up.
She's going to lose the show somehow?
She's going to lose her show somehow. Mindy Kaling is the other... Mindy?
I have no idea.
Mindy. Because the Mindy Project, I remember. But Mindy Kaling is somehow involved as well, but also John Lithgow. Yep. MA15+, which is an R rating in America.
Yeah.
It's a comedy, late night talk show. Emma Thompson, Mindy Kaling. We both gave it YAAAS. It comes out this week in Australia, so if you get a chance to see it, we want to. Maybe TCTP, DTC.
Yeah, I mean,
this week, I'm all for it, man.
There are other movies coming out this week, which I know of, which I think may fit the bill for us a little better, just because of the kind of movies that we're into.
Of course.
But this is certainly not
Wow. Okay.
what I was trying to find.
So, just a quick sidebar there for a second. This is the first week Dylan has added a screen for us to both look at with the notes of the episode. He punched into Google Midsummer because that's one of the movies coming up in YAAAS Pass this week, and it came up with some fucking music festival that happens in Melbourne every year. So
Midsummer Festival is an annual celebration of queer, intersex, transgender, bisexual, lesbian, and gay culture. You'll see TCTP there doing a live show.
We're doing a live fucking broadcast from Midsummer in Melbourne this year. This is the first fucking festival of 30 years.
Oh my god. All right, back to business.
Actually, 19th of January to the fucking 9th of February next year, 2020.
Oh my god. We won't be there. All right, so because of that horrible Google search, we're back on track. So Midsummer.
No, let's take it back. So Late Night is coming out this week in theaters for Australia. Emma Thompson, Mindy Kaling. It's a YAAAS for me. It's a YAAAS from Dylan.
From me too,
yes,
absolutely.
Of course, it sounds amazing. Okay, if we can move on now to the actual this week's episode of YAAAS Pass, I will go to the first movie, which isn't what you're looking at right now, Dylan.
Okay, so what is the first movie of YAAAS?
The first movie we saw the trailer for when we went and saw The Public this week.
Yep.
And I've got a burp again, but I'm going to hold it. It's an Australian film called Palm Beach.
Ooh.
Okay. Now, I remember you sitting in the theatre and being quite excited about this because it has quite a stacked cast.
So regarding Australian actors...
Nope. I don't think this is the movie that we saw the trailer for. No, it is. It is. It definitely is. I apologise. Nope.
Man, this is your segment.
I didn't fuck up shit, bruh. Okay. Anyway, Palm Beach is a 2019 Australian film. And just a brief rundown of
synopsis.
The plot. Yes, synopsis is lifelong friends reunite for a party at Sydney's Palm Beach. Simple enough. But there is some twists and turns in this where half of the drama revolves around ex-lovers and former lovers and acting and...
acting? Well, it is a movie, so I would assume...
films and water and beaches. Oh my gosh.
The thing that I found funny about this is that, yes, you're correct in the way that you said it's about like an aging romance, but they're all like old actors and they're all...
No, that's right. This
rich white Australian baby boomers, and
that's right.
The cast has interested me most because Sam fucking Neill, I've been a huge fan of since Jurassic Park.
Yes, and for our international listeners, Sam Neill is Jurassic Park.
He's the main dude from Jurassic Park. Yeah,
and you watch that guy with the hat,
Alan.
Thank you, kind sir.
I only remember that because of the fucking dinosaur in Jurassic Park 3. He goes, I'm a plane. He goes, Alan. It's like, what the fuck? And I high? No, the creators of that movie are fucking high.
No, that's right. But you go back and watch that movie. Sam Neill is probably one of our most prolific actors from that period. He still has a very solid career here in Australia. And not only that, I saw 2 trailers. Count them. 2 trailers back to back.
1, 2.
No, yep, count them. 1, 2. 2 trailers back to back today at the theatre for Sam Neill movies.
Did you?
I saw the trailer for Palm Beach and then immediately afterwards, Ride Like a Girl, about the first Melbourne Cup female jockey.
I see. The thing I like about Sam Neill...
Oh, okay, good. Yep. I was going to say, don't start talking about Ride Like a Girl because that shit don't come out for another month.
But I don't know anything about it, so we can talk about it in the YAAAS Pass then.
Thank you. Good, man.
I really super duper appreciate the fact that he's sticking to Australian films.
I think he's settled down to the point where he's like, I don't want to fly much, so I'm going to stay here and make movies here. Because
that's right. But at the same time,
he's done several international movies that have been fantastic.
Yeah, like at the same time, I want him to be in the big... Because he was a cameo in Thor Ragnarok. He played Odin.
No, that's right. And you can tell that was definitely... I feel like that
Taika Waititi. Because he's
that was
a New
Taika
Zealander.
Waititi and also Chris Hemsworth as well. I could totally see them being like, you know what? Oh, Sam, get over here, bruh.
Yeah. You know, he was born in England. And I snorted.
As all great Australians are.
As all great Australians are.
He was not born in Australia.
He was born in England and raised in New Zealand.
Wow.
So, you know...
I did not expect that, honestly. I didn't know that either, honestly.
Yeah, so that's... And he was also doing a movie... Actually, this was going to be my recommendation, but
yes,
I'll save it for a later episode.
No,
he was in a movie with Sylvester Stallone called Escape Plan. Have you seen that?
I haven't even heard of it.
Very quick synopsis.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Sylvester Stallone is hired to live in prisons and break out of them to test their security levels.
Okay, so... Right. Really?
Yeah. And the first one has Arnold Schwarzenegger as well. There's two others. There's Escape Plan 2 with Dave Bautista, direct to DVD, and there is a third coming out. But Sam Neill...
Is it going to movies or is it direct to DVD with Dave Bautista?
Direct to DVD.
Fuck.
50
Come on,
cents in
Dave Bautista. Kumar Nanjiani, you need to get on Escape Plan 3, because otherwise that's going straight to the movies, because I love fucking Kumar Nanjiani.
Yeah,
and Dave Bautista. I want to see them together again.
But Sam Neill was in Escape Plan, and he was one of the doctors, and he was really fucking good. He's great in fucking everything. So
Sam Neill is a fantastic actor. So based off of that and that rabbit hole that we just explored, Palm Beach, about retirees, fucking 60 plus, they all go and meet at their beach home or one of their beach homes, and they just fucking talk about all the issues they've had.
Fucking Sydney, Australia.
And Brian Brown is the main protagonist in the film, where it's mostly revolved around him and his birthday.
It seems like he's losing his mind a bit of Alzheimer's or something.
I feel like it's a bit of I fucked up my life. And we're all old, so I think we need to discuss this through me hitting a chimney. That's what I took from the trailer.
But no, this movie is certainly aimed at the older generations. But
yeah, to a degree. But there is still that element of generic drama that draws in the mid 20-year-old old fucks like ourselves
and the comedians, the comedy side of it. So
you're a comedian now.
I'm going to give this a pass. No, sorry. I drank quite a bit of this Bundaberg. So
I love it. That whole time you're there holding this Bundaberg bottle and you're like, I'm just taking slow swigs on it. Look how cool I am. And then you're like, all right, the first word I need to say is YAAAS. So I'm going to go, Poo.
So
you drunk fuck. What was that?
This is
YAAAS.
This gets a YAAAS from me. What about you? What do you give it?
I'm going to give this a pass.
Yeah. Because you didn't really...
No, I remember in the movie theater, I turned to you and went, pass. And you went, that's a YAAAS for me. And I was like, orkies, let's talk about this in the podcast.
I surprise you every day.
No, that's right, exactly. But after the public and seeing a drama, I would still go and see this, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
On renting or download. Yeah.
Moving forward, if we can move on again, we have another Australian film coming to the theatres locally. Check your guides internationally. Danger Close. The Battle of Long Tan. Now, this movie intrigues the shit out of me because I will just read a brief synopsis.
Yep.
In August 1966, in a Vietnamese rubber plantation.
All right, so before you do that, I'm going to say,
good.
I'm not sure if anybody remembers from the beginning of this episode, but we are drinking straight bourbon this entire time.
Thank you so much for pointing... Yeah.
This episode 16 is TCTP GST. What did you say that enunciation was?
Get slightly tipsy, but it's evolved beyond that now to the point of now I'm like, oh good, it's 9 p.m. on a Tuesday night and I'm drunk. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out to the people. So let me please forgive me and give me one more chance to read this synopsis to close. Fuck.
All right, hit it.
Danger
man.
Close.
Go for
the
it.
Battle of Long Tan. In August 1966, in a Vietnamese rubber plantation called Long Tan, 108 young and inexperienced Australian and New Zealand soldiers are fighting for their lives against 2,500 North Vietnamese and Viet Cong soldiers.
So this is set in not World War.
It's fucking set in 1966, as the first fucking sentence says.
Yeah, so it's set in the Vietnam War.
Exactly. That's why it's called Danger Close.
Yeah, so I've seen
Battle
this
of Long Tan
at the cinema that we go to for TCTP DTC.
Well done.
I've seen the poster there.
That's
and
right.
It looks intriguing, but I've never bothered to look it up. So
no, I honestly hadn't even heard of this movie until I saw that it was coming up in YAAAS Pass.
And as you mentioned, this is an Australian movie. I'm just looking through the cast list now. I don't see a Hemsworth. One of the three Hemsworth brothers.
I'm honestly considering maybe this isn't an Australian film.
Do you have any fucking idea?
No.
It has to be because it's inexperienced Australian and Zach soldiers.
Exactly. So this is Vietnam War. This was like Australia's #1 contribution to war in the world for the last century.
How dumb. Yeah.
No, that's right. But So Danger Close, The Battle of Long Tan, I believe it will not be coming out internationally. So any international listeners, Sosbra, not your show. But yeah, it's coming out this Thursday, man. And I'm not 100% on war films, but at the same time, this sounds intriguing because it's somewhat close to my heart. My dad was in the Vietnam War in the naval.
Kidding? Wow.
No, he was in the naval boat people. He was on the ship. He was a rifle, man. He can prove it. No,
Yeah.
my dad's fucking like 74, so yeah.
He's seen some things.
No, that's right.
And some stuff.
No, legit.
I would recommend it.
It was actually in the Navy during the Vietnam War. So I'm. This one is a YAAAS for me, man, because it sounds like a very interesting, dramatic tale of a particular war that's close to a lot of Australians.
Yeah.
Dude, take the conversation. I just said YAAAS.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You didn't say that sentence as if it was ending anytime soon. It sounded like you were...
I thought you could tell I was running out of breath. That's all I'm saying.
Take a breath. You're allowed to. It's a podcast.
Okay. Yes.
All right. So Danger Close is really intriguing to me. I don't think I'll take the effort to go to the movies to see it, but I do really want to see it. So it's a YAAAS. But one thing that we haven't said in quite a while, which I'll say for the next YAAAS or pass.
Of course.
So I won't spoil it now. But I give this a YAAAS, but I won't see it. I'll wait until it comes out and I may rent it.
That's understandable because it seems like one that I'm not entirely intrigued about for TCTP, DTC. But at the same time, I definitely do want to see this film at some stage of my adult life.
I'm sure you'll get the chance. Yeah.
Which is the rest of it. But
once it's out of the movies, it's gone forever.
No, that's right. Danger Close, The Battle of Long Tan. Hey, if it's in your local theatre, why not give it a shot? I mean, it's Australian cinema. Same with Palm Beach. Fuck yeah.
Cool. What's next, Mitchell?
All right, moving on in our list of TCTP. That's not the segment. YAAAS or pass. The last one we have is I'm not sure if it's summer or soma. But
I'm going to say midsummer.
What?
Midsummer.
Yep. Okay, well, MIDSOMMEER.
Oh my God, the music festival in Melbourne.
Yeah, that's right. It's from Melbourne. We'll be there live 2020. No, we won't.
Oh my God.
But Midsummer Summer. Okay?
Yep.
So this is from the director of... Which one was... This is the second
Hereditary.
film from... Hereditary. Thank you so much.
Hereditary is a very... out of nowhere horror film starring Toni Collette.
Yes, Toni Collette was the main feature.
The old dude from Captain America Winter Soldier. He was in
Robert Downey Jr.
The other guy. But he was This is a movie.
The other guy, but
this is a movie I'm really fucking excited for.
Yes.
Is the word I was saving because we haven't said excited or blooded, so I'm fucking excited for this.
Just straight up, we're not even going to give people a plot.
Yeah, that's right, because you don't need to, because it's done by the guy who did Hereditary. But I suppose we should be nice and give people a plot, so Mitch, go for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't have a YAAAS pass segment and then just go, YAAAS, go and see it, motherfuckers. All right.
No, I'm not just giving it a YAAAS, I'm giving it an excited.
All right, again, pre-warning, I'm drunk right now.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to read this plot for the first time ever. A couple travels to Sweden to visit a rural hometown's fabled midsummer festival. What begins as an idyllic retreat quickly devolves into an increasingly violent and bizarre competition in the hands of a pagan cult.
Yeah.
That's a YAAAS, motherfucker, just based off plot. I know you just said it based off like the history of the director and the writer.
Yep.
Dude, that sounds fucking fun.
The trailer came out of this quite a while ago, and I remember I brought it up in one of our earliest podcasts.
No, that's right, you did, and you said it's a callback to... What was the other one you said?
Hereditary.
Thank you. I'm so
I don't
sorry.
know. I don't think it's much of a callback, but the trailer itself was very fucking intriguing, and then I found out it was by the guy who did Hereditary. I was like, okay, sign me up. Now, another thing that really attracts me to a movie like this is that the budget is only $9 million.
Man, that is impressive for today's film. Requiem for what they expect out of a film.
It gives
$9 million is the equivalent of 2004 when Saw was made for $1 million.
Yeah, that's right.
It's basically that level of budget based on inflation.
It gives me, you're drunk, man. That was good. It gives me the indication.
I'm drunk, but I'm also an incredibly intelligent human being. So let's give me some kind of credit. What's up, Dab? Thank you.
It gives me
Fortnite.
It gives me the indication that this writer and director really fucking knows what he wants to do, and
That's right. He doesn't require the entire but let's just throw money at it for funsies. He knows
that's
what
right.
level he's at and what he needs.
yeah. So the
Why
writer
spend $20 million?
$20,000 on a movie.
Yeah, why spend $20 million on a movie that only requires 10?
Yeah.
Simple as that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So his name is Ari Aster, and he's only
Yes.
done, as we said, like Hereditary and Midsommar. So
That's right.
this guy is like the next James Wan for me. Like he's got these smaller, low budget horror thriller films which are going to Hereditary made a fucking massive impact, and I believe this
was
one
brutal,
will as well.
bro.
Yeah.
It was fucking brutal. And the fact that I feel like he's James Wan, but he's got a bit of a leg up on the fact that the movies that he's releasing has a wider release, per se. Whereas James Wan started with Saw and then had to build his way up through the budget. Whereas he seems to have been given the keys to the kingdom, per se, if you want to become a horror thriller director.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, I completely agree with that, man. And it legit sounds awesome. I am all for Midsommar.
If there's one other thing I know about this movie, though, that can convince you even more to make you want to go see this movie, is that it stars Will Poulter.
No. Does it really?
Yeah.
Will Poulter. So no. I want to say Will Poulter. Eyebrows, wear the Millers.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Swollen testicle.
Man, we have mentioned him on the podcast before. He is an incredibly impressive British actor.
Yeah.
Who his talent is exceptional, man. He has starred with Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant.
Yeah,
dude, he is fucking phenomenal, man. And I'm going to say this right now, and I think I've said it before. Will Poulter will win an Oscar at some point in his life.
Well, he
absolutely.
We've mentioned this before that he nearly played Pennywise. Now, Bill Skarsgård makes Pennywise these days, but
yes,
that Will Poulter's version of Pennywise would also have been fucking amazing.
That's right. If God forbid something happened to Bill Skarsgård right before the first chapter started filming and Will Poulter stepped in, I would not be complaining one bit. I would not be less keen for It Chapter 2. Will Poulter is awesome, and the fact that he's in Midsommar, I am so excited.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So
man.
this isn't just a YAAAS. This is an excited from me.
This is an
excited.
This is an excited and a YAAAS for me. But at the same time, I'm just going to break your heart a little bit. There's no screenings at our local theaters for the next at least week. I'm not kidding.
Fucking
I know you're looking at me like you want to actually punch me in the face, and I'm dead set, man. I looked forward for TCTP DTC.
Does the cinema.
That's right, and I look forward because this was the one I wanted to fucking see with you, and there's no screenings at our local theaters, and I'm very disappointed.
Well, that sucks because, as we said, like $9 million budget, it's already got a box office raking in of $31.7 million.
No, that's right. And it's only just come out in America, and it's coming out now in Australia, and I'm so excited. I haven't checked Reading cinemas, but I'm hoping there's something coming up soon, man, because I want to see this.
I want to see it too. Fuck yeah. So, when does this come out in Australian cinemas, Mitchell?
This comes out this Thursday, which I believe is the 8th of August.
The 8th of August.
2019.
Very good.
So, that's a YAAAS for me. That's a YAAAS for Dylan. Midsommar. It sounds like a fucking thrill ride of a movie.
Beautiful.
Yes.
You know what, Mitch?
I'm all on board.
I think it's that time of the podcast.
What time is that, Dylan?
I'm just a little, you could say, thirsty?
I couldn't tell. Well, considering last week I went first with my...
That segment would be fucking gross.
Oh, well, I apologise. Well, I think that what you're saying is these recommendations are making me thirsty.
Now,
Boy Band 2019.
Now, when you listen back to this episode tomorrow or whatever you do...
What are you doing?
You're going to listen to this and go... Fuck.
Yeah. For the 18th time this episode, people, I've gone from slightly tipsy to I think I'm fucked right now.
Like, look at your
Don't
bourbon
look
bottle.
at my don't look at my 700ml bottle of bourbon that has probably 2 nips left in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the part of the podcast each week where we look at something that has made us thirsty for a viewing. So these are recommendations that have made us thirsty. And last week I went first with my wonderful recommendation of Ryan Gosling starring in Drive.
Yeah.
So Dylan, take it away. Callback.
Alrighty. So, on Two's Company, Three's a Podcast, my recommendation this week, as we always say, my name is Dylan, along with my co-host,
Michelin Man.
Mitchell and Man.
Yeah.
You can find our recommendations on Podbean,
Facebook?
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Big Summer Blowout. And we're also on Instagram now as
That's
well.
right. Instagram, please hit it up, people.
Yeah. Now,
But Facebook and Twitter as well.
absolutely.
Jump in.
The recommendation I'm about to make wasn't my initial recommendation. I had something else, but I'm going to save that for later.
Okay.
This Amazon original series has been storming the fucking internet for the last week and a half or so.
I'm just going to cut you off there. I've already spoken about Jean-Claude Van Johnson, available on Amazon Prime. Please, Jean-Claude Van Johnson, people. It is stellar. But Dylan, continue with your bullshit recommendation.
Mitch is begging you now.
No, Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
So I started watching this last night just to see what it's all about because everybody's fucking raving about it.
Of course.
And it is fucking great. It's called The Boys.
The Boys.
The Boys.
Okay. Now, I've got Amazon...
It's a TV show about us.
Yeah, Dog Boys, as we like to call it. No, I've seen the picture of this pop up on my Amazon Prime account when I've been viewing it, and it doesn't look that appealing. I've seen the picture to it, and it just doesn't look like something I want to watch. It's a picture of a couple of boys. Like, it's nothing.
Well, remember, we saw the trailer when we went to the movies for the public, and you were like,
exactly.
Oh, that changed my opinion. Like, you didn't exactly know what it was. Yeah.
I didn't know what it was when we were seeing the trailer, but when it popped up, it was actually when we went and saw the public.
Yeah.
I was watching the trailer, and I'm like, oh, this looks amazing. I can't wait for this movie. And then it popped up and said, The Boys, available on Amazon Prime, and I've got that. I can watch this. So
I'm not really sure why it's called The Boys. It is based off a comic, so it's not just an original
Is there boys in
series.
the TV show?
There is. So essentially,
the boys.
The overarching,
I get it now.
The overarching story is that there's two main characters and there's two sort of subplots that like trail along side by side. You're trying to throw me off.
No. A little bit.
One of the main characters, his name's Huey. Now, essentially, his arc in the opening of the series is that he hates superheroes, and I'll get into why in a moment.
Okay.
The other main character who does have superpowers auditions and becomes a superhero, and they eventually meet about halfway through the first season.
Of course.
Essentially, though, that there's this group of superheroes. They're well known, and they're a massive franchise. They're called the Seven, and they're each particular character is based on superheroes that we know of. So,
Keep going, bro.
You got the glassiest eyes.
I'm watching you.
I can
You're
see
right,
that.
boy. I'm Wilson from Home Improvement. I'm just watching over the fence. You can't see my face. You didn't know what's going on. Tim Allen. Real name, Tim Dick. Just a fun fact.
Is it really?
Yep, look it up. I'm not kidding. Tim Dick.
I'm not going to because we're...
Please do. I dare you to type Tim Dick in your Google.
So apologies, everybody. I'm going to cut my recommendation in half. I'm going to Google search Tim Dick.
Oh, you're actually good. Yeah, Tim Dick. Do it. Do it. Ready?
This better not be Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, fuck. No. I just really hope that Dick pops up on the screen right now.
This is a big penis in a Buzz Lightyear costume, isn't it?
Wait, Tim Dick. Come on.
Holy shit.
Tim Allen, motherfucker.
Wait, hold on. What are all these people?
These are the moments.
Tim Dick?
No. These are the moments in my life.
Timothy Allen Dick. There you go.
I'm so glad this popped up because these are the moments in my life where I'm like, yep. I'm made for a podcast that gets 40 downloads a week. What's up?
Fuck
Tim Dick, Tim Allen, Home Improvement. What were you saying, Dylan? You had a recommendation for the people?
So, all of the superheroes...
So sorry.
Back to The Boys.
Yes,
all
the
of
boys.
the superheroes in this series, they're all based on superhero characters that we're familiar with. So there's one called the Homelander, which is basically this version's Superman.
Okay,
We've got the Aquaman character called the Deep, who's a bit of a scumbag, and he falls in love with a dolphin. It's weird.
Yep, you threw me off there.
Yep. There's another character which is like the Flash. He's called A-Train, and he's like in the black character. He's got the blue costume.
Okay.
And he's the reason why the other character named Huey hates superheroes. I'll get to why in a moment.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And there's another one called Translucent who turns invisible, and he's also got like impenetrable skin. But they find out that they can kill him by shoving a stick of dynamite up his ass. And the reason why is because they go, well, he's bulletproof and impenetrable on the outside.
Oh my god, the inside.
But the inside...
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So they actually think, hey, let's shove an explosive up his rectum because, hey, the inside must be worth us some damage.
Yeah, so it's very funny. It's got a hell of a lot of violence and swearing. There are a lot of serious moments, but it is definitely a dark comedy. Carl Urban plays like an English-Australian actor, so he plays himself. It's great. Okay. And he's in a character called Billy the Butcher. Now, he finds the guy named Huey after Huey's girlfriend in the the opening scene. This is why
So it's not a spoiler.
This is a spoiler, but only on a minor scale.
Yeah.
So Huey's girlfriend gets killed in the most beautifully brutal way possible by the hero who's like the Flash.
Okay, right.
And
what was the Flash's...
A-Train.
A-Train,
Yeah.
thank you, yep.
So she gets killed. I won't say how, because you have to watch it. You have to fucking watch it.
Okay, no, that's fine. I really do want to watch this.
And the heroes, which are called the Seven, they're just basically a big global conglomerate. They're franchise. They make movies. They make theme parks.
Yeah.
But they're shitheads. Like, if they were in real life, like... shit wouldn't be right with them. Like,
okay, so it's the equivalent of like the Avengers doing good, but at the same time, everybody hates them because Captain America throws his shield, hits some kid's head, and he's like, "Suck it up, dick."
No, people love them because the public perception is that they're superheroes. But in reality, they are superheroes. They do have powers, but they are cunts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So... The sidelining character's story, her name is Starlight, I think. And
Starlight?
So she's auditioned to be part of the Seven, and she gets the job. And then when she's in there, she realizes that it's more of a publicity stunt rather than actually doing good things, because the moments where she gets to be heroic, they're all set up.
So is there a particular character who's running these people, like in charge per se?
I don't remember the character's name, but she's a real hard ass, and she's manipulating them to do certain things. There's also another character who's like a Wonder Woman character who's alongside Homeland, who's the Superman character. He can fly, super strength, laser eyes.
No, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, right. It's exactly the fucking same. Blue costume and all.
So is that character in charge kind of picking and choosing when they go and help and when
that's
not?
right.
Yeah, okay.
There are some
so it's
moments,
very corporate as opposed to actually helping.
The Seven, so the Seven superheroes, other than the fact that they do have superpowers... Spoiler alert, there's nothing really genuinely heroic about them. Apart from this Starlight character who's new to it, because she's grown up. Looking up to superheroes with these powers going, I want to help people.
Yeah.
And she realizes how bad it really is, but then... later on she meets this other Huey guy who's just a regular person who's alongside Carl Urban's character. They're trying to hunt these heroes and take them out and show the world who they really are. Simon Pegg is Huey's father, and he puts on a really weird American accent.
So, just for the people at home, Simon Pegg, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I am all on board.
And another thing that will convince you to watch this is that the creators...
I was about to say, you hadn't mentioned who created this show yet.
Evan Goldberg, Eric Kripe, and Seth Rogen.
Dude, I am all on board.
So
for those at home, Evan Goldberg, he go back to what's the original show that they created?
There's Future Man. There's...
No. Going back to the original days with James Franco as well, Evan Goldberg. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Now I feel like a dick. But anyway, yes, Superbad, Knocked Up. All of those movies. Yeah.
They are the ones who created this TV show, essentially. And as I said, The Boys is based off a previous comic book.
That's right.
But it's It's essentially if heroes were corporatized in the modern world, what would they be like? And this is a good representation of that. So that's my recommendation.
It's absolutely intriguing.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime at the moment. It's only just started, so there's plenty of time to get in and watch it.
That's right.
I started it and couldn't put it down. It's so fucking good, man.
How many episodes are in this first season?
I don't know.
Do you know?
I haven't finished the first season yet. I'm just going to keep watching until I do.
Well, that actually sounds like a recommendation that could actually make me very thirsty as well. Especially the creator part sold me. Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
the fact that they worked on Superbad back when they were teenagers.
Yeah.
I'm all on board for this, man.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
Is it time for my recommendation that is making me thirsty?
Well, it's making me thirsty, but are you going to quench it? That's the question.
I mean, I don't have porcelain pleasure. But at the same time, I feel like these recommendations may actually make me thirsty.
Well, let's hope these recommendations, as rough as they are, get us to 1,000 fucking downloads. That way we can finally announce what you're tapping against.
I know. I'm waiting for that morning. I wake up and press refresh.
Every
and it
fucking
says
day.
1000.
Yeah.
As soon as that happens, people, you will know what I am talking about.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But tell me, what are you going to talk about right now?
Well, the recommendation this week that is making me thirsty is available on Netflix. And
I totally pressed the wrong button. It was supposed to be the long one.
That's fine. It's a 1996 classic.